Hello, church family. Welcome to day 20 of our Living Prayer Devotions. Today we're going to be focusing on John 21, verses 1 through 8. I love this story in Scripture where Jesus appears to 7 of his disciples after the resurrection. It happened on the shores of Galilee. Peter had decided to go fishing, and 6 of the other disciples joined him. Well, they fished all night and they didn't catch anything. And Jesus appears on the shore and he sees them and calls out to them, "Friends, have you caught anything?" At this point, they didn't really recognize who it was. And they answered back, "No." And so he said, "Throw your nets over the right side of the boat and you'll catch something." And so they did, and their nets were filled up, and they were so full that they couldn't haul them in. They were so heavy. And that is when John recognized who it was, and he said, "It's the Lord." And so Peter, upon hearing that, just jumps out of the boat and swims to the shore, and he's so excited to see Jesus. And then you read the rest of the story, and they're hauling in the fish, and they're coming to the shore to see Jesus. And it is just such a picture. And we only see this picture because someone wrote about it. We only see it because someone wrote about it. And it was John who wrote about it. John wrote about it, and it was so special. It was such a glimpse into the day with Jesus. They were full of joy, and they were ready to see him. And you can see that in this scripture. It's so cool that he gives us this glimpse into this time with Jesus, this special time with the disciples. This had to be precious. And he records even this conversation between Jesus and Peter that is so unique, and it's not recorded anywhere else in Scripture. John wrote this down. In John 21:24, it says that this is the disciple who testifies to these things and who wrote them down. I'm so thankful that he wrote them down because we get to see what Jesus was like, what happened, and there are so many other authors in the Bible who wrote things down. John, Paul, David, Moses, we hear all of the things because someone wrote them down. Did you know that in the Bible, the word remember is recorded 1,200 times? If you know me, you know that I love to journal. And so I journal during my quiet time. When I have my quiet time with the Lord, I journal. And one of the biggest reasons I journal is so I can remember. So I can remember what God has shown me, what he's taught me, what I've read in his scripture. I don't want to get emotional. But I do that so I can remember what he says. And it's so important for us to write these things down. I find it interesting that in this passage, John refers to himself as the disciple whom Jesus loved. And he writes that down, the disciple whom Jesus loved. That is such a picture into who John was and to their relationship. And it's so important for us to write things down. Write things down that God's telling us. Write our prayers down so that we remember. This word, the words that are written in the Bible are a treasure to us. And they're a treasure, and we get to read them because John wrote them down. I just want to challenge you today to write it down. Write the things down that God is speaking to you in your prayers, in your devotional times with him. Write it down. It will be a treasure to you, and it will be a way for you to remember this important relationship that we have with God and the love he has for us.